And these are the three modalities of consciousness. It has been called mind, body, spirit. But it is indeed our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. That is the true holy trinity of consciousness. And it is all about us. That is the knowledge that they have occulted from sight. It is also the knowledge of how there are physiological expressions for these three modalities of consciousness, particularly in the brain. We have three complexes in the human brain. The first is the reptile complex, the R complex. This is responsible basically for controlling our instincts, our basic survival mechanisms, and motor skills. It is also called the brain stem, and this is the lowest consciousness part of the brain. We have a midbrain, which helps us to experience emotion, and that is known as the limbic brain, or simply the mammalian brain. And then we have a higher brain, a human brain, the human neocortex, which is ultimately responsible for higher order thought functions when it is operating in a state of balance. If it is not, we revert into either emotional mind control through the limbic system or into male dominator behavior through the R complex. This part of the brain, the neocortex, the higher brain, the human brain, needs to be balanced. That is ultimately what should be our ultimate goal in life, is to bring those two hemispheres, the masculine solar left brain hemisphere and the feminine lunar right brain hemisphere, into a state of harmony and balance, so that it opens the third eye, the human pineal gland, and it balances the brain. And I've displayed the symbols of the chalice and the blade coming together to form the blazing star, or the all-seeing eye, to represent that concept. This is what happens when the human brain is in a state of balance, there on the left, a holistically balanced brain. When it is in a state of imbalance, the neocortex shows a pattern like that. That is electrical deadness of the brain. Generally, that form of electrical deadness, of synaptic damage from chronic left brain hemispherical imbalance, is caused by high levels of adrenaline pumping through the central nervous system. Well, when we think about high levels of adrenaline, that brings us to these two groups of people. There is a lot of physical brain damage that has taken place. Make no mistake about it. And I'm going to talk about how the dark occultists who own these people, own them, feel about them, or as you will see, don't feel anything at all about them. As a matter of fact, they are the most mocked individuals on the planet. If you think that they have contempt for the general sleeping public, you haven't seen anything. They call the general public, dark occultists, they have two terms for people that I've only ever really heard them use. They call the general sleeping public the dead. The dead is what they refer to the public. Because their rationale for this is, if you do not have activated thoughts, activated emotions, and activated actions, therefore you are completely unconscious and therefore not truly alive. And therefore, we may treat you however we wish to treat you. If you think that's bad on how to think about someone, another living being, wait till you hear what they call these individuals. They call these individuals, and from first-hand experience, from their lips to my ears, they call these people our dogs. That is their name for the military and police. Our dogs. I have also sometimes heard them referred to simply as our pets. This is what they actually think of these people, as human pets. Human pets. How the dark occultists view the military and the police. And that can make you as uncomfortable as it gets, but that is the case. That is the truth. In this presentation, we're going to look at occult symbolism, But it's not going to be as overt as this. Now, this is a U.S. naval base at Coronado Island, San Diego, clearly showing the symbolism of Nazism. And this is the reversed swastika as seen from above. The SS, the symbol of the Schutzstaffel. Okay? We're going to look at symbolism that's a little bit more veiled than that and harder to see unless you're initiated into the occult, particularly the dark occult. The pentagram, okay? It represents the 5 elements: earth, air, water, fire, and spirit. With the 5th point, the 5th element, spirit, raised to the most significant position, meaning that it needs to be in ultimately superiorship above all of the other elements of nature. That is the cosmic source from which we all come. And you can see it has Stargate symbolism there on it, which we're going to talk about. The ancients would often depict the pentagram with a man or a woman with its head at the top point, representing spirit, and then its extremities at the other 4 points, representing the other elements. And this is a pentagram in its proper aspect and in balance, representing a person who understands their divine nature. This is the satanic pentagram, and this is the official sigil of the Church of Satan.